I'll try not to anyway.
Yeah, I try not to, but I'm quite bad at it.
Oh, here we go.
So what I tend to do is I leave. Let me just go. The concept is people, if they want to, they can interact, but I tend to not look at it. So what we're going to start with is I'm just going to run. I'm pretty sure looking at you, you're very proactive with your preparation.
Yeah.
But what I thought I'd do is we'll just quickly whiz through the bullet points of the guidance note.
Okay.
Then look at a few overviewing things. So you've probably got it printed out there like a good little student.
The one you sent me?
No, so this is like, so the assessment, so post-training before, what they're looking for. So this is things we need to consider is that you've got 20 quality mountain days as a leader in soldier charge of a mixed military group. Completed 20 rock climbing teaching days with students.
Done that, yeah.
Led 20 multi-pitch climbs of VS or above.
Yeah.
Familiar with all aspects of the syllabus, have physically attended, completed a first aid course. If you haven't done the first aid course at the time, you just get a technical thing.
Yeah.
So there's 5 days of assessments, which are a personal climbing day, a rescue day, a teaching day, a scrambling day, and a navigation day. This isn't set up like this. What you have to think is that these things can be assessed across all those days. So climbing stuff could be assessed on the climbing day, on the rescue day, and on the teaching day because you are climbing.
Yeah.
And similarly, if you pick a route where there's, a scramble off or a scramble down, they're going to be looking at how you manage people in the access and egress, which could be more the scrambling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, lead multi-pitch VS, demonstrate theoretical and practical in a wide range of skills and techniques. And we'll go into this in a lot more detail.
Okay, yeah.
Navigate with speed and efficiency in all conditions. They're not looking for anything above an ML. They're just looking for you to be like able to go to an ML kind of point very quickly. Efficient movement. Assess an incident on a crag or a mountain, determine safe and efficient solutions. That's like the rescue-y thing, the problem solving, improvised rescue. So often the rescue day is usually one or two minor things, which are more an incident, which you could either, if you're clever enough and you stop it, they might not, you might stop it before it happens.
Yeah, okay.
But they might just set something up that you can't stop, and then you have to figure out a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then demonstrate throughout the thing effective communication, leadership, instruction and teaching. So this is the second part. We've got communicate effectively in a range of situations, actively appraise and manage session delivery. Like that's my lesson plan.
Yeah.
One of my best lesson plans I ever saw was we were going to do, it was like, that was a lesson plan.
Okay.
It was basically, that was us teaching various forms of rescue. And we were like, well, we're going to do that. And then we're going to do it on I think it was that way.
Yeah.
Like, and then an unassisted and an assisted hoist.
Okay. Yeah.
And like, it doesn't have to be massive.
Yeah.
But often I find just writing stuff down helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just about, teaching and learning, and there's loads of things. So observe and analyze, and this is kind of what I was getting to in that email of like, unless you actually observe something, you can't be sure.
Yeah.
Then have some mountaineers effectively teach and lead various of mountain related activities. So that's, scrambling without a rope, scrambling with a rope, rock climbing, and everything in between. I think they also do a little bit of gorge walking or like co-steering
Yeah.
on the training. It's not really assessed.
I think that's stopped now, but yeah,
Have they stopped doing it now? Okay,
they've gone more for actual teaching now.
okay, that's
yeah.
good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about, again, the leadership and the risk stuff goes through it all.
Yeah.
Effectively present mountain related topics, promoting learning, encouraging discussion. So this is like on your ML when you're doing like a bit of nature or stuff. They're looking for you to put stuff in like that.
Yeah.
When you're climbing, you could be talking about rock, you could be talking about the history, and that comes in later. You know, got to be able to teach and demonstrate navigation. So, you know, on your navigation day, it's often they'll give you a leg.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, what, I want you to get to there, but what could you teach on that leg and how would you teach it? Structured plan for a variety of indoor sessions for both novices and experienced climbers. So you sound like you've done a fair about indoors.
Yeah. I've done a lot of teaching indoors, and a lot of I'm an instructor, but rope access,
And so some of it is about how you can adapt the indoors to actually teach outdoor skills, and vice versa. So this is, and then accessibility of participants in order to give a safe, enjoyable. So that's kind of what that email was about with your question the other day. And then you know, this is your rock climbing bit. So organize a day, accessibility, teach effectively, select venues, and then, you know, a lot of this actively appraise and manage session delivery. And this is, it kind of doesn't really go into it, but it's a bit about really this self-reflection and and usually what I find is people of our age have often develop this skill naturally, because we don't get here without doing that. Often younger people, they find it harder to self-evaluate. I think it's because you've got more life skills behind this. So this is just having a little bit of an understanding about mountain training. You've done quite a few of the schemes, so you've got more than you know, a necessary thing. And then the mountain environment, so you've got areas to get information, conservation, minimizing our impact, you know, ethics and etiquette. Again, a lot of this is done in a variety of ways. I think some of this is done by paper, you know, like some of it is and then have a knowledge of the history of mountaineering and rock climbing, and how to use instruction books, guidebooks, and stuff like that. There is so this assessment of risk. This to me is really important in that it runs across every day, and what all an assessor I think is really trying to do is check that you are capable of taking somebody out and managing the risk, as well as being able to teach them something. So the idea of risk assessment goes through everything. And then there's other things like, you do rope access, you'll be more than aware of the current legislation with regards to PPE and stuff like that, you know,
regs and everything.
And I think, you know, even like the Brennan, I had a quite good long conversation with Dave about this, and you know how they're, you know, adapting to that is interesting. They're still trying to adapt to this new idea that everything has to be assessed, you know. You know, like when I went down south, we did the PPE assessment course and we had to check everything that BAS owns but they can't do it all the time because there's kit in boxes left in the field for 2 years, so that can't be assessed. So that the first time the field guy goes out there and starts using it, they have to be able to kind of do an inspection on the thing, but it's not. Yeah. And so it's that they are a list of growing things. Is come back here, C5. And so this is a model that I try to give to people.
You sent that to me, didn't you?
Yeah. And the way that I describe it is that on any given day, we usually have a student or two students, and we can't change that. Yeah. Nor can we change the weather. The weather's fairly. Yeah. We can change it here by going to different venues, because the weather in the mountains is going to be different to Gogarth or Tremado. Right, so we can change the venue, but not the weather to a certain extent. We can change the aim and the task quite readily, and so sometimes we have to get our students on board that we're changing maybe the aim of the day because of the weather or the venue, and we can control the task. Yeah. It's just, as soon as you realize that, you have to understand that is part of the whole interaction. Yeah. And I just think for me, it's a simplish model, but it's one that illustrates what we're trying to do in terms of just managing people. And then finally, this is this is very basic, actually. Yeah. So this is what I would call I call it the wall of skills, with the idea that, this first day, you could actually break this down and put the first hour. The first hour, somebody needs to know what a harness is, what a rope is and how to put it on, how to thread a belay plate and how to top rope somebody. Yeah. And a bit of basic movement. You've taught sessions at a wall. That those things is what you need to get going. And then you look at okay, what do we need to teach in the first week? If we're at most week-long courses, we're looking to get people multi-pitch trad climbing in that time. Yeah. And so, that basic climbing movement, I could have broken that down. I could have tie a figure of eight. It's actually, they had to be able to rethread a figure of eight as well. Yeah. Rather than tie it. And so all of these things can be broken down, and it's just one of these things that if you have your own methodology or a thing, is that when you doing that teaching day, is having an idea of what the progressions are. So, if they're building a top rope anchor in the first week, it might be on day 1 or 2, I teach that. Yeah. But then I'm going to be teaching a proper trad belay. Am I going to teach them 2-point with a sling, 2-point with a rope? Yeah. 3-point with a sling and a rope. Yeah. And it's have an idea of how you can progress. What are the abseiling progressions? Yeah. And these are things that you would have done time and time again. Yeah. But spending some time to write these things down. So for me, when I first did this, I had a massive wall, and I was in Morocco. Yeah. And we had a bit of plastic on the wall, so I had a whiteboard. Yeah. And I had 16 people, and we just went through this, and we started at the bottom and we built it up brick by brick with a good foundation. Yeah. And so it's just helps with you being able to have ready
pinpoint,
progressions. Ready
pinpoint
progression.
where things are. Is that on the?
I can send you a copy.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I actually, it was only on one computer, and
Right,
I
okay,
had
yeah.
to do it. So where are we? If I go into so this is what we're going to go through today. I'll bring it closer, and I will try and type. But I've had people do this before, hence I was going to delete them all and get you to go through it, but I think to a certain extent, so these are the days. So rather than looking at it as the complete syllabus, now we're now breaking it down into the days. Now, what I've said to you in that letter is part of what I do isn't about getting you ready for assessments. It's about getting you ready to work as a MCI.
Yeah. Okay.
And so whilst this focuses on these 5 days, they're all skills that will help.
Yeah.
So I think, hopefully it makes sense. So the rock climbing day, you want to be confident. You know, do you think that's,
I've done HVSs, but so I
Well-
tend to sort of go up and down.
Yeah.
Because I live in London.
Yeah.
So if I go climbing for a week, I'll be climbing better. But then I won't climb for sort of 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So back down to HVS. Back down to VS. Really, yeah. I'm not sure if I could have climbed a VS yesterday in the tipping rain. Is that a necessity?
It's hard. I think they might accept if it was like a really tipping it down, they might allow you to do like a severe or a hard severe. I don't know. I will ask Dave at some point, so I will write that down for question.
But I plan to, go climbing now for a year, so that's fine anyway.
And so if we go down this column of the thing, first time nut placement,
I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah.
excellent climbing technique.
Well, it was excellent, define excellent.
Well, that's we could take that out, so we could just put, we could change this. If you don't want excellent, we could change it to
efficient. Yeah, I'll go with efficient. Yeah,
efficient climbing techniques.
Okay,
the use of appropriate tactics.
Yeah.
Using a guide for effective belays. Is there anything else you think people are going to be looking for on that personal rock climbing day? Because
Go on, sorry. I think my weakness there would be route finding. That would be my weakness in that. Which is part of using a guidebook, I suppose.
Yeah. Anything else? I mean...
No, I think I'm happy with the belays. Maybe for me that would be the tiredness of the ropes, getting the ropes nice and neat and tidy. I've written some stuff down here. Actually, nice, neat, tidy.
So
ropes.
I'm going to put stance management because that's what it comes down to. Because it's all about.
Yeah.
Ah, look, you've done it already. There we go.
Yeah.
I'll whack it all up on here then. Yeah, I mean, not always, could improve, especially route finding, rope work and stance management. Yeah, and often it's about, if I put series and parallel, will that make sense?
Yeah.
And switching between the two as well efficiently.
Yeah, I think that's a weakness of mine. Yeah, and I noticed that yesterday actually.
So, one thing that when I teach people, I know this isn't the teaching day. That's over here.
Yeah.
When I teach people in a multi-pitch setting, what I'm trying to do is, what are we fundamentally trying to get them to do? If we've got two people trying to get them, and we teach them in a multi-pitch setting, what fundamentally are we trying to get them to do?
be safe and enjoy themselves, really.
and lead themselves up a line. We
lead
want them to
themselves,
be.
okay, yeah.
And so, how
Yeah.
would you, if you went out with your friend, how would you lead?
I would, me personally,
Yeah, well, you're with a friend who's an equal.
yeah. I'd probably run it out a little bit.
Would you lead every pitch, or would you tend to switch?
no, sorry, yeah.
So,
Sorry,
so you alternate lead. So
yeah,
basically,
yeah,
what
sorry,
we're
yeah,
trying to do is teach
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
how to go climbing,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
and
yeah.
it's most fundamental. And
Yeah.
so, I tend to use series, and tell them that my rope's invisible. Like, they never do anything with my rope.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And so, if this one comes up and then this one comes up and then they switch round,
Yeah.
effectively what they're doing with the rope between them is alternate leading, and all I'm doing is switching my rope to who.
Right, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
And so
yeah.
I can teach everything to do with leading. And if, for instance, I maybe leave, not necessarily low down, because I can teach some stuff. I want to maybe leave a wire
Yeah.
or something for them to place in between,
Yeah.
but I really want one to be just below the belay, because I can teach them there. Because if I can see them and talk to them, I can teach.
Yeah.
There's always this bit in the middle where you can't do anything. So I might set a task like try and place some gear or try and get hands off rest
Yeah.
on the first bit, and like that's what you're going to focus on. And then I introduce the teaching of a placement on lead
Yeah.
later on. Does
Right,
that make
okay.
sense?
Yeah.
So it's
No, it
like,
does, yeah. Yeah.
basically,
Yeah. Go on.
that's so for me. Series is really good. You can do a similar thing in parallel, but it doesn't work as well, and it's not giving them the right picture.
Yeah. I haven't. As a climber, I haven't done a lot of series or parallel climbing. Because why would I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some stuff in the Dolomites because we were climbing in parallel there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with three of us.
Yeah. And I've done that. When you're climbing as a three, you might. I actually tend to block lead, so it'd be like 3 to 5 pitches.
Yeah.
If it's a big route.
Yeah.
Always swap round each time, and that it takes a little bit of, it's mind bending. It's like, okay, that person's going to go first, so he needs this bit of my rope and that bit of his rope.
Yeah.
And it is confusing, but you just need to have a little think about how you can switch all that about.
So that would be my my rope work. That would be exactly what I'm talking about there.
Yeah. So we've whacked that in there.
Yeah.
And then improvised rescue.
I've kind of put it on there. I kind of think in my head, I'm quite happy with rescues.
Cool. Let's just go in here.
Yeah.
He says, will it allow me to? We'll just add it here. What kind of things do you think are minor issues? Have you ever come across something that's a minor incident?
Yeah, the like tangled ropes, which can be sorted which could turn into major.
Yeah.
But are minor at the moment.
Yeah.
The people can't do a crux of a move of a route if they're seconding. If they're leading, that could become major.
Yeah.
Just inefficient climbing could be a minor issue, couldn't it? Stuck body, stuck foot.
It's usually a foot.
Yeah.
Have you come across what to do?
Lower down the tail end of the rope.
Ask them to try and take the foot out of their shoe.
Yeah. Sorry.
So before that,
so
even before. So this is what I'm getting at. It's sometimes
okay.
the solutions are simple.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
What about? So what I got was they literally couldn't undo the HMS carabiner
on their anchor.
On the anchor, it could also be if they're belaying you. It could be on the belay device. What you're going to do?
well, I mean, that could turn into a major. You might have to come down to them and sort it out, mightn't you?
The simplest solution is if it's the belay device,
Yeah.
they just pay through the rope till the belay device is just before the
yeah,
knot.
yeah. You can just keep it there while
Yeah.
you're climbing. Yeah.
If they've tied clove hitches, they can do the same. They can pay the rope through the clove hitches
Yeah.
till there's, and even if there is a bit of a loop, they're
Yeah.
still attached with a clove hitch
Yeah.
and a screw gate that won't undo.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
you know there's a lot of minor things, and if you chat to the people that do their SPA in terms of climbers just becomes crag fast and they don't want to go up and they don't want to go down.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. So they could just feed the rope through. You can just pull it through. Yeah.
And so what we're trying to look for are like things that are minor that can be sorted without going into all of this, like hauling, escaping the system.
Yeah. Okay.
And then one of the things I have managed to do in the past is I'll try and set it up. If you tell me a time when you're coming up, I'll try and put a course on.
Yeah.
And I'll open it up.
Okay.
For like rescue skills for climbers.
Okay. Yeah.
And we get you to come and watch, and there'd be an assistant there to try and teach it. So one of the things I think really helps people is if you try and teach these skills to somebody.
Definitely.
Because if you teach them something, and I guarantee the first time you try and teach people this, you'll screw up an order of something.
Yeah.
And it's only when you make that mistake that you'll learn to undo the mistake.
Yeah.
And even better, avoid it.
Yeah.
And the first time that I've done like a lot of teaching people how to get out of crevasses in the last 2 years, but I haven't done anything else. So it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I have to teach in a very set way because we're teaching scientists and electricians.
Yeah.
Who are going to go out in Antarctica to, if I go in, they need to be able to get me out. And it's like, half the time I'm like, if I go in and you don't hear me, fucking cut the rope because I'm probably fucking dead. It's one of those things. And then, we've got all of the main things here, and it's just about giving time to it. So the teaching of climbing, we've got hopefully the analysts of clients' needs and the questioning and seeing.
Yeah.
Hopefully that email I sent you.
Yeah, that was good actually. Yeah.
Have you got any questions about that at all?
No. I read it. I understand it. I just need to sort of use it and then get to know it.
Yeah. And it's really hard because on your assessment you'll get 15 minutes to assess 2 people.
Yeah.
And then you've got to decide which venue you're going to.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do. But you've then got the time. If you choose at a venue which has got, the grades of route, then you can then kind of work out a plan and get more information out of them on the bus journey over there.
Yeah, I've done quite a lot of work on lesson planning because I teach. Like I've done a trad climb lesson plan, how I would run it, more advanced, and then like just the fear of falling, because quite a few, the 2 I've got up with me this time, they're both scared of falling.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've kind of like tried to develop that a bit.
What are they scared of in falling?
I think they're just scared of the gear won't hold.
Okay. So with that you could actually get them to practice on the gear and actually on the ground hang on it.
Yeah. Just trust their gear. They're both sport climbers.
Yeah.
They don't trust the trad gear. So but going back to problems, the improvised rescues, one of my RCIs did just on a personal climbing day, myself and her, we went up a Great Slab,
on Cloggy.
On Cloggy, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we just thought we'd like bumble up that. I did the first pitch, absolutely loved it, and then she went off on the second pitch, which is only like 4A, Yeah.
Is that the second pitch is the quite good corner, isn't it? I think.
No, that's the first pitch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the second pitch goes off that to the
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
And so the first pitch is like this sort of little traverse and up that corner. Yeah. The second pitch is around to the right, so I couldn't see her, and she was told by a couple of climbers in front of us there's quite a lot of loose stuff on there, loose flakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's pulled one off and promptly fallen underneath me straight into full factor 2.
Jesus.
And broken her heel. Yeah, so that was not a good day.
No. No.
Yeah, on what should have been an easy route, really.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's again that route finding on that area is pretty hard, and then it's.
But from that, all the people I work with have got at the climb wall have got this thing about. Well, actually, there's been a lot of accidents recently, mostly bouldering. Yeah, a lot of people falling off on bouldering, and then this one, people just thinking, oh, you know, is that trad climbing and outdoor climbing the thing, really?
I mean, cloggy is like the deep end, one of the the deep end. So even the VSs are, they're like full on VSs.
Yeah,
and yeah, some if people don't know how to read rock and get gear in,
yeah,
there was a case of somebody. It was on Diagonal, I think. Very similar situation. So it's a little bit harder. So they've done the pitch to just sort of halfway up, and then you have to go out, and it's quite bold.
Yeah.
And there's a piece of gear here, but if you put it in without a massive long extender, it almost always falls out.
Right. Yeah.
And this girl went up, and she basically went the height of the crag.
Yeah.
And was not as lucky as your friend.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And the only reason I know about this one is because my friend Simon was in Stoke ICU at the same time as her, and I went in one day and they're like, oh, she fell off where Simon fell off. Oh, great. And then the next day I went in, she wasn't there anymore.
Oh shit. Yeah.
But
anyway, like word spreads, and people just want to have, I think, just a bit more time on trad, placing gear and trusting it,
and yeah, to a certain extent, it's like one of the things that when I was doing my masters, one of the things we're trying to get people to do to start off with is get them in the ballpark of what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about kicking a football or using a tennis racket, there's not that much risk.
Yeah.
But in climbing, what we're trying to do is almost get people on like really easy routes. So I quite like getting people on lead, but on like diffs, because especially diffs with lots of gear, because essentially it's almost like climbing a ladder. It's super easy, but they're having to place lots of gear, and they could and it helps them get get lots of practice in of placing gear without having to be worried at the same time.
Yeah, I know that's what we did yesterday on Crack 2. On Little Trish. Yeah. But on this girl who fell off, she was an RCI. She's a competent climber.
Yeah.
She was she was well within her grade.
Yeah, and it's like, but had maybe she'd never been on a route with loose rock.
No. Yeah. Well,
if she's an RCI, she might have been. She could have been to places which are sport climbing, grit.
Yeah.
The what I would call the money crags round here of like all the classic VS, like Traumatic, most of the crags in the past.
Yeah.
It's only when you get up a mountain rock that you're kind of in this new, it's a new skill that you have to develop.
No, that's a fair point. Yeah, she's done like was it the cracks on Dinner Smot with me, and
that is like,
but there's nothing loose on that because so many
super
people,
solid. It's I went to solo that route so many times, the cracks.
Did you?
And I get to the that last move.
Yeah, the little mantle. Yeah.
Walk around the corner every time. I'd be like,
I wouldn't solo that.
I was climbing E5 at the time, and every time I've got there, I was like, no, not.
Yeah.
Every time I've got a rope on, it's fine. It's just like,
yeah. Sorry. So
we're back on the. So having questioned them, we then got to like analyze and plan a day. And so there is. Did I give you the link? Did you get the book of the coaching
Yes,
process?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So one of the things, if you've got a beginner,
Mm-hmm.
you start and you demonstrate. You often demonstrate something, and then they do it.
Yeah.
If I get somebody who says, "Yeah, I climb a little bit already,"
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to do is work out where they are.
Yeah.
So I might go to them. Okay, so you've climbed before, great. What and I might just say to them, "Put your harness on, get ready to lead, rack up."
Yeah.
Now, if somebody's climbed before, they should be able to do that.
Yeah.
If they look at you like you're speaking gibberish,
Yeah.
instant red flag.
Yeah.
And then, I might get them to come up and go, okay, I might deliberately climb above the belay.
Yeah.
Have you seen this technique where you climb up the belay, you make your belay clear of the belay and you leave your belay free? So if this is the belay ledge, and then when they get there, I just go, can you show me how you make a belay?
Yeah.
Because especially, I've had all sorts of people from all walks of life, and I've had some people come in and they tie in with a bowline, and I won't say anything. I'll be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
However you tie in, I'm not totally safe. You're aware that you have to put the stopper knot in and stuff like that. I might say that, but if I give them a task before I've shown them it, like, I just want you to make a nice belay here, and they do it.
Yeah.
I then know that they can make a belay in that way, and that's how how they normally make a belay, and it then gives me a jumping off point of like, well, this is how they make a belay.
Yeah.
How am I? What's the progression for them? Rather than me coming up with the progression without them, they've shown me what they know. I can then go, okay, they know that. Let's try move it on to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are different ways, and so often it's described as, I think it's in my book, it's WASP, where you watch, analyze, and then teach from there.
Yeah. So on the day and in your work, you're getting new climbers, aren't you?
Yeah. So depending on who I'm working for and how I'm working, if I'm working for myself, I've usually had telephone calls, email conversations like we've had.
Yeah.
And I can often find out where they climbed last, what they've climbed. I can often find a route that I know that I've climbed, and I can ask them if I remember that route. It's probably because it's got something interesting about it. I go, how did you find that route? And if they say, oh, that move at the top is, I'm like, okay, how did you overcome it? And it gives me, it's like, it's not just a common language then, it's I'm being able to have a common experience where I can, I know that bit's hard. It might, I might have found it like straightforward-ish, but I know that it was the hardest move on that route.
Yeah.
And it's...
I mean, my problem is I working at a climbing wall is that I'm getting people who can climb like 7A, 7B, and now they want to learn trad.
Yeah.
And they want to climb hard stuff.
I think
without knowing how to place trad gear.
I think this is why I think there's quite a lot more accidents now, is that people can come out of a climbing wall. Kids nowadays, some of them climb like 8A, 8B, and they haven't climbed on rock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so a lot of what we do, it's about explaining to them and getting them on board with the fact that you will be able. Somebody that climbs 7A will easily be able to climb E1.
Yeah.
When they know how to place gear, but until they know how to place gear, you've got to say to them, would you be happy soloing any 6A, 6A plus?
Yeah.
Because effectively, if you can't place gear,
that's what you're doing. Yeah.
That is what you're doing, because you can't trust it. And so, I had a guy that, he said he was a 7A climber.
Mm-hmm.
We went out
and I'm like, this guy really is a on-site 7A climber.
Yeah.
You know, we did a couple of harder things and put him on top rope, and he just walked up them. And the first route I got him to lead was VS.
Yeah.
But because he could on-site 7A, he could find rests on VS easily.
Yeah.
But you know, it wasn't on the first day. That was like we did 2 days of single pitch.
Yeah.
I think we had him placing gear both on belays to make bottom ropes, and then we got him placing gear on lead on a top rope.
Yeah.
You know, so he'd already demonstrated that, hey, he picked up placing gear and was a very comfortable climber at,
right. Yeah.
you know, VS was like VDiff to him.
Yeah.
But that's very much, it's not that often. You might get it more because you're working in a climbing wall.
The climb wall is that, yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted one guy wanted to come up here, and he wanted me. He wanted to do Spectre as his first ever trad route. I said, no, that's just not going to happen. That's just like, no way.
Yeah, I mean, like, have you done Spectre?
I've done it. Yeah.
Is that? Oh no, is it Spectre the HVS or the
HVS?
Okay, that's not too bad, but like the crux of it is an off width.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
no, there's just no way.
I've taken quite a few people up there before, like people that are going to do like their MCI assessment, and like I've ended up having to take over because I've deliberately gone like, let's think your HVS climber, do you? Deliberately put them on that pitch, and it all goes horribly wrong for them.
Sorry, I'm just chatting.
No, I think this is the thing. Is like we're here to chat around the subject. So we've got the analysis. You know what we're going to teach, crags, routes. If you use venues all the time, like I don't know which venues you use a lot, but you'll get to know what you can teach on different things.
Well, I'm not there yet. So I mean, I've climbed in North Wales, but for me that would be route choice and the crag. You know, getting to know the crags really. I need to do that. Crag awareness. Yeah.
Can't remember in that Craigslist. Does it talk about the about access and egress from these places?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I just wanted to know because that's like
it's got quite a lot of detail there. Yeah. I know. Sorry.
Yeah, abseil off routes rather than top out. Wasted.
Yeah.
2 easy routes. Some of our best abseiled off. Others require. You know. So what I tend to tell people is you want to try and maybe do at least one of the routes at the crag, so you know how to get there and you know how to get off the top.
Yeah.
Because and then you know at some point if you want to go up Idwall slabs, which is a very popular route to use, we can talk about how I get people off a crag. So on Idwall slabs, for instance, if I lead people up Idwall slabs, I then lead them up the the descent. You have to kind of scramble up for ages and then come down. I lead them on that. If I taught people to lead, I then get them to short rope themselves up with me out of the system, but they're like doing little short pitches.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So they learn because obviously they've led themselves up, but actually they need to be able to get themselves off.
Yeah.
So there's often, knowing how to get to and off all the major crags that you're likely to use means that hopefully when you're working, you don't like what I say is make a rod for your own back.
I didn't really do that. We went up tennis shoe, which is to the side. I think we missed all that bit out, didn't we?
You still get to the top of the boulder.
Right, okay.
And then you still have to scramble up.
Yeah, we went up and then down, yeah. I think it's not as far up, is it?
No.
The scramble, yeah.
Did I bring the big, thick one over? No, I didn't.
I know you mean, though. Yeah, I know you mean, yeah.
Yeah, and then, I'm just talking about using serious versus parallel, using short pitches, I always say that you have the first 30 foot, the first little bit of a pitch and the last bit of a pitch when you can actually interact with the people you're with and teach.
Yeah.
The rest of it is just them
on their own.
Yeah. So what you want to do is give them something that they can easily practice on themselves. So that's why I tell them one thing.
Yeah.
As I leave, and I just get them to focus on that, and then I won't actually tell them what I want them to focus on in the last bit as they approaching me. I then introduce it then.
Yeah.
Right, scrambling. What did you put?
Sorry, scrambling. Yeah, the improvement required in this scrambling and route finding. So to be honest with you, I kind of understand what they want on these other things. Yeah, I kind of get that. If you were to look at like a syllabus, yeah, you could see what they want there. Yeah, you know what's required. I kind of understand that quite well. But with the scramble, I don't really understand what they want.
So, I'm going to write types of terrain. So,
yeah,
if we're doing like, this is specifically for like grade 2 and 3 when we've got people on a rope.
Yeah,
we've got terrain that is basically taking the rope for a walk.
Yeah,
we're literally, it's like there might be a massive drop, but we're on quite a big ledge, so we can walk and move together.
Yeah,
we then might have a short step, a short step.
Yeah,
which could be like you're on this rope thing and you get to a short step that's basically an ML step.
Yeah,
you can do it one of two ways. If you're going up, you tell them to wait at the bottom. You don't even put belay in. You scramble to the top because it's only a grade 1 step.
Yeah,
and then you kind of step back and you can use the rope, or you can send them up first and you spot them.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And you can do the same in reverse coming down. You send them down first and you've got the rope. Then you get kind of like, if I look up and it's like, the other thing is like rock climbing.
So then
if you look up and it looks like a rock climb, or it's going to feel like a rock climb in your boots, treat it like a rock climb.
So
stop,
just pitch it.
short pitch.
Right.
Now, one of the things is you need to get used to the length of rope.
So the length of rope out, like when it's short roping.
Or short.
Yeah. I think just practicing that really, and just getting familiar with it and draping it over flakes and.
Yeah. So you get to the bottom of a climb.
Yeah.
You're getting ready. You tie your clients in, and I tend to look up at what I see above.
Yeah.
Often, everything's tiered, so you can see where the next ledge is.
Yeah.
Now, unless it's like really broken terrain, I'd probably want to go to that ledge and make some kind of belay. So I will go, okay, it looks at least 20 meters. I'll do 25 hand lengths, so I've got a little bit extra. And I tend to go with a longer rope and just get really efficient at pulling the rope in and putting them on belay. If I have to pull in an extra 10 meters of rope, that's fine. I'm not pulling in 40 meters of rope. I'm just pulling in 10.
Yeah.
And you tend to find, these things go steep and then, they flatten out. So I might then later on shorten the rope, because actually it's more just weaving through terrain and quick belays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so the only reason me and a client should be moving together is when we're taking the rope for a walk, effectively.
Yeah.
Every other time I want to be managing that rope in some way. If it's an ML step and I've come over here and I've walked back and I've sat down and I'm just literally sat down, it's an ML set and I'm body belaying. It's like, well, what, why did you do that? Well, there's friction on the edge.
Yeah.
I've sat back, I've got a brace stance, and it's like a 6 foot, an 8 foot step. So it's not even that serious.
Yeah.
If that person slips, I'm far enough back that I'm not getting pulled over the edge. They're going to be at the bottom before I go over the edge.
Yeah.
If, however, I get to the top of that step, or it's just a little bit, it's an ML step, but it's a little bit longer, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a belay. Now that could be a spike.
Yeah.
It could be two things equalize and I go direct off it if they're good. It could be a single point.
Yeah.
If I use a single nut or a single cam, I do not go direct off it.
No.
So the choice, it's like direct, indirect, based on belay. So and it's just this thing I have of like, there are places where I've only been able to get a single piece of gear in as a belay.
Yeah.
And so what I might do is I might sit down on a ledge and be tight. So I am like a little bit of a shock absorber. So
it's like a snowball or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way that, and so we've got to be able to teach this. The way that I teach it is that if I'm going direct, there can be no doubt in my mind about the integrity of a belay.
Yeah.
If there's any doubt in my mind about a belay, then I should be doing something to minimize the impact. And if that's me sit down with a brace stance, even if I'm, rather than body belaying around here.
Yeah.
And so part of it is you starting to learn when to apply each different tools. The way that everything we teach, it's about, we've got a toolbox of skills that we use.
Yeah.
Now, the reality is, if we use the toolbox analogy, if I want to put a screw in there, I could get a hammer out of the box and drive that home.
Yeah.
That ain't, it works, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, yeah.
It's not efficient. I could get a screwdriver and screw it in.
Yeah.
I could get a drill and a screwdriver and put it in. Or I could just get like a self-tapping and an electric screwdriver.
Yeah.
All of those things get the screw in, but they're different efficiencies.
Yeah, yeah.
And so what you'll have to start doing is working out which belay works best in what situation, and having some kind of little thing of like, if it's, certainly if it's 1 point and you direct belayed off it, people would question. It's like, it's why did you make that decision?
Yeah.
If it's, a massive spike, nobody's going to question it.
No.
I've seen people make mistakes where, the spike was like up there and they've gone like that.
Yeah.
With a short sling.
Right.
And direct belay off it like this.
Yeah.
And then they fucked off. And this was on their assessment. And I'm just like, oh, they fucked up. Because me as the second then, I had to climb to the top of this pinnacle and then down climb to get the sling off.
Right, yeah.
Whereas if they'd used the rope,
or a longer sling,
or a sling that was basket hitched, and then other things, is managing.
So were you assessing, or were you?
I was being assessed, and
oh, I see. That was.
And
your
so
assessment. Right,
I basically, so I got given like this bit, and we just went. Like I've stopped doing it now, but I used to, and I'll explain why I've stopped doing it. I used to be able to move incredibly fast over rock and scrambling terrain. set off, and it, you know, he's like, I'll just go up this, and after like 15 minutes or
Yeah.
you know 20 minutes, we've done 4 pitches. We're half the way up the side of the east face of the thing, and I've just like short pitching, a bit of a walk, stop, and then he's like, right, Mark, that's great. And then the other guy took over, and we literally hardly moved for an hour.
Right.
And the guy didn't fail. It was like, you know, the guy actually told him, apparently during his assessment, ignore Mark. Mark's been doing this, you know, he should have been. He should probably be. I think the assessor was like, Mark probably should be going for a higher award, but there isn't one for the UK, and he's not interested in stuff. And so this guy didn't fail, but he had these little points, and he was quite slow.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily about speed; it's just about efficiency. And
So how do you learn that then?
I just spent a lot of time focusing on it.
But how? Because no one wants to do that.
That's the issue, isn't it? I was quite lucky in that I have a lot of friends here I've got friends who they aren't great climbers.
Yeah.
And I had, when I was going through this, they were, you know, I still climb with them. They have no interest in being an instructor or being a good climber.
Yeah.
We go out climbing for what a friend once described to me as the grin factor.
Yeah.
We are friends and we enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
And we'll just do anything, you know.
Yeah.
If it's a nice sunny day, we'd go out and do climbing at their grade. If it was a bad weather day, we'd go scrambling.
Yeah.
And I also happened to be around a lot of people that were going through this. So
For the assessment. Yeah.
Now,
So it's just getting that network, isn't it?
it's quite hard to get to people all the time.
Yeah.
What it's easy to do is I tie you into the end of the rope, like you're the end person.
Yeah.
And then actually just put a loop with an overhand on the rope,
Right.
a little bit in front of them, so that if it does get stuck, that person can actually flick it out of the way. So it's kind of is there, but it's probably a little bit closer to the second person, so that if it gets stuck, or they're not like getting like 3 meters of slack to unclip a piece of gear.
Yeah.
And the reason that you want to put that in is it makes you understand if this is the edge of a step, and you end up belaying here, you've got to bring that person up, tie them off, and then bring the other person up.
Yeah.
Because you're right on the edge.
Yeah.
If I put the belay back here, I can bring this person up, and by the time they get here,
The other person's moving.
and so sometimes the managing of people comes to you. Actually, it might be a really easy belay here.
Yeah.
But back here, it's just going to make it a little bit easier with the management of you not having to like belay this person, lock them off, and then bring the other person up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. So I need to create that network. I need to. None of my mates want to go scrambling. Not really. They want to go climbing or go to the pub if it's raining. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I go with the wife, she's we've got a dog, so we can't do scrambling.
Yeah.
Just can't do it. But anyway, yeah, okay.
I mean, there's like some MCI North Wales groups on Facebook.
Yeah, I've got. I don't know. Well, I mean,
There might be an MCI trainee one as well. And again, these are the sort of people that be wanting to go out.
so I've got this one, the MCI. Like, what's there? There's 97 members going for their MCI assessment.
Okay,
Yeah, so they're quite good. We're going out. Well, I'm going out with a guy called Vito. They just, if you're free.
And it's
Yeah.
it's good. And so actually, the scrambling bit is one of the more difficult bits for people that don't scramble a lot to get
That's my hardest
to
bit,
get their head around, because climbing, to me it's like it's really safe.
It's quite sterile, isn't it?
It's like I'm either leading, and that's the dangerous bit, is me leading, but as soon as I've got a belay, and actually if I've got somebody else leading, then I'm usually on a fixed rope.
Yeah.
And so I'm there, and I've put them on the right route on the right day. Does that?
Yeah.
So I'm managing, but scrambling is this thing where, the risk management part of it really is.
Yeah.
It's so dynamic. What you could be climbing up something, and all of a sudden there's a shower, and next thing you know, that grade 3 section is going to feel like VS.
Yeah. So I've kind of researched a little bit from Dave McLeod. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's of the opinion that the best climbers come from hill walking and scrambling. Yeah. Okay. Because they've got that understanding of the mountain environment. And they're used to sort of to some extent to just soloing stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because that's what they're doing, is scrambling. Yeah. Whereas I've realised that the climbing I'm doing is coming from indoor climbing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've taken now to sort of doing more scrambling and even like in the peak district, just soloing short severes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just to get my head around, because that's not that hot, that's not that much off sort of grade 3, is it really?
No.
So
and there's a lot of routes. There's a lot of crags even where the access and egress to them is like if you were going to take somebody to do Cenotaph Corner.
Yeah.
There's basically the first pitches of spiral stairs on the approach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which are like V-diff diff.
Yeah.
And so it's about and then you've got other things of like they will assess you going up and down. So once you get to the top, they might be like, oh, could you take us down here and manage this? So like
right.
I, for instance, had to come down South Gully.
Yeah.
So we descended. We got to a point. It's like the grade 2-3.
Yeah.
But I'd never been down it. We're in an absolute pea super, and I just knew at some point I was gonna have to. I'd brought some tack with me.
Yeah.
And we got to this point, and we're coming down, and like, somebody's already left tack here.
Yeah.
We're going to abseil, and so we had to do an abseil, then pull the ropes, and then basically get round the harder sections.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean abseiling. A classic for me is if you haven't done Little and North Gullies on the side of Triven, go do them, because it's like you get to know.
Is that where South Gully is as well?
Now South Gully is, so that's the South Buttress. This is South Gully. So I think we came down here, got to like this, and then abseiled to there, and then scrambled down here.
I've seen it. Yeah.
But like Little and North Gullies, I think this is it. Little and North Gullies. If you go up it, the first time, it's a really good way to descend, because you come down here, and this is like grade 1 scrambling. Yeah. Grade 1 scrambling, and this is like grade 1 scrambling, but it's like you get a good belay there, and you just send people down, and then you down climb it. Yeah. Send people down here to about from to there. Send people down there to about here, and then you belay to here, and then you walk off.
Right.
Another one is when you get to know it. I think here, if you come down the grass rather than the rock, and then you come down here and you skip out. I think you just kind of skip here. Yeah. You can get down here at about grade 1 as well. Right. But it's like a grade 1 for like people that are doing, like grade 2-3 scrambling. So it's and often what you need to do is, if you get to know the descents, like the ascents are fine, that's just going up, and it's about knowing where you can go.
Well, it's also route finding for me as well. Yeah. It might. So here it is. Yeah. So I'm partly blind in one eye. Yeah.
So you don't get depth perception.
Yeah. So I can't. I struggle with speed going down. I'm not going up.
Yeah.
But I just struggle with speed on the mountains because I can't see properly. out of one eye.
No, I mean, the thing is like,
So I'm disabled as well.
it's not. None of this is about speed. It's about efficiency. Like I said,
Yeah.
like when I was on the assessment, the guy I was being assessed with felt to me painfully slow, but I was just ridiculous, like painfully fast, probably for him.
Yeah, no. Well, to me, I'm what I am, and I. So
and so we're not being like IFAGMs. We're not international mountain guides. There's no Serac that's going to melt and land on our heads.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're.
I've been lost here. Definitely.
It's very easy to get lost around here.
I tried to do a Bellevue Bastion, and did a route up there instead, another route.
Well, I mean, Bellevue Bastion, you see that little triangle there?
Yeah.
It belays just there and steps out above it.
I think we went up this side instead.
Yeah. Somebody was commenting the other day that my guidebook's got it wrong, but I've not looked at it yet. In that I think they think it kind of goes up from here. But when I did it, I just went straight up to it.
Yeah.
It was about VS. Apparently I put a different route on, so it's not strictly.
Well, I was following the rock facts.
Yeah, there you go.
So there you go. And I went wrong. So there you go.
There you go. That's
what must be wrong. Yeah. Huh?
I just put a direct first pitch to it.
Yeah. The route I did was HVS up there. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anything else in the scrambling?
Just for me it'd be networking and practice. Might have been correct this week. Yeah. Navigation. I just need to improve. I passed my ML in 2012. Yeah. I don't kind of teach navigation. I don't do it a lot, but yet I've never been lost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
the thing is often as soon as you've qualified, and you're doing stuff like you're going scrambling, you tend to be walking on paths, and then you go from the path, and you're like, well, I'm going on that crag, and I can see where it goes on that crag, so I'm going to walk to the base of it. So you then just walk up, so you aren't actually navigating.
Teach, didn't you?
And so I would advise.
Well, for me, it's also I lost sight of my eye. I then had to go with reading glasses with the other eye. So it just.
So I would, if you're having problems with your eyesight, consider.
What the problem?
Getting magnifying. So.
Oh no, I'm fine with reading glasses, but I just can't be asked to get them on and off.
Yeah.
So
if
it's just glass, it's more glass management than actual.
So a magnifying glass will probably stop you having to do that.
It's not a bad idea.
And so like I've worked with quite a few people who, they're getting on in their years, and like me, I used to be able to like map read, and these are for short sightedness, but now when I have to read a book, I have to take them off, and if I get it too close, it's I have to get it at the right thing, and eventually I know that my arms aren't going to be long enough.
Yeah. So then you've got to get the glasses. Yeah.
And so then I've got to get a magnifying glass, and it's a really easy thing for people to fail on, because everything else is kind of rock climbing and scrambling related.
Yeah.
And a lot of people focus on that, and they're just like, they kind of let it go. But you also
you're right. For me, I can if I'm needs to know arm, I can just look at my phone and I can blow it up.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. It's like really easy, you can just like go on like OS Maps, blow it up, and you know what I mean. You can just see exactly where you are, can't you?
Yeah.
So
no, and it's one of those things. It's like the problem is now. I think they're trying to adapt so that they allow a little bit more like GPS phone navigation.
Yeah.
But we kind of still in the era where the
the backup is a map and a compass and a watch.
I've got no problem with that. No, I'm all for that, and it's just a skill I've let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm all for that. But I'm a little bit more like Tristan Gooley. You know, I quite like just sort of reading, like, you know, where the moss is, and I know where I am. You know, the river will run down to the lake.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I've got an action plan for my navigation. Like, just, you know, just working up this pyramid here. It didn't print very well. Larger features, smaller features. Just these dates are wrong. Someone else's action plan, and then just going up there and just
If you're up here and you're going to do a practice and you know where you're going to go, feel free to come and see me, and I can give you like what I would consider the points of what they're looking for.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like definitely like this is. I don't know. Yeah, so you've definitely done things like come to here.
Yeah.
And get people to, you know, a couple of points here. That point there, which is just before that gets steep.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom of Craig Fack. And then I think we might have gone that little spur there.
Right.
Across, down, and yeah. And like literally on my assessment, we stopped it here, came up here, went across, down, across here, and down.
Yeah.
And that's as far as we went. So we basically, you got 1 or 2 points per person. One of them was like, what can you teach on this leg? How would you, you know?
Yeah.
You've got, this is where we're going. What would you use it to teach? And so, do you have like, do you use the 4 Ws or the 5 Ds of navigation?
5 Ds more. I don't know. What are 4 Ws?
Where are you going? What's the terrain? What are you going to see when you get there? What are you going to see if you go too far?
Okay. So, no, they were.
Yeah, so ideas, what is it? It's a, not ideas, the description of where you're going, distance, duration, direction, and the journey.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to.
Yeah. As long as you've got one of those, and you use it, and it go through the process. It's one of the reasons I like it is that if you go through all that, and you verbalize it to the assessor, you want me to go here. It looks to me the point you're asking me to get to, and you describe it to them.
Yeah,
and then you can, you know, clarify. You know, often we will put a dot on the map.
Yeah.
If I forget a pen and I'm assessing somebody, it's an absolute, or if it's raining, it's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Because I could explain it to them.
Yeah.
They can explain it to me, and then they get there and like, I got here, and it's like, where do you think you are?
Yeah.
And they'll point to where they actually are on the map, but it's not where I've told them to go.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And you're like, did you just take me here because you knew you were here, and you've just because there was some ambiguity, and it's like,
What's that, ML assessment or
ML assessment? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, it's if you can find somebody that will have you along on a ML training, it's a really good opportunity to, you know, even if you ask them to whether you could come and observe them teach an ML training, and that way you'll have, like, you know, even if you just observe a couple of days, you could have a couple of days of watching somebody deliver ML level navigation.
I'll put that down. You know a guy called John Lees? Lees.
I don't know.
No. He was on my training course. He's just passed his assessment.
Okay.
And he's offered me anything I want, really. He does ML training and all that.
Yeah. So and these things are great because they're like, even if, you know, when I was working, I was doing this mentoring.
Yeah.
What I would do would be, I'd run a course and I'd have people come along. So I often get one-to-one coaching. Yeah. So I'd get them to come along and basically be a belayer for a day.
Yeah.
Where they observe me.
Yeah.
I'd then
often, let's say they observe for a few days, I then might have a bit where like they're going lead climbing. So I'd be like, right, you take over managing them on this pitch, because I've already seen the client.
Yeah.
They're actually leading, and all I'm doing is hanging on a rope next to them, looking at wires.
Yeah.
And then I would then, having done that, I would get them to work. And I wouldn't pay them for this, but they'd basically work, and I'd observe them working.
Yeah.
So basically, it'd be my client. I'd explain to the client, this guy's going to come out for a day. He's going to teach you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be right next to I'm going to be with you. And then eventually, I'd end up with a lot of people I've mentored working for me. So they'd actually get, most of the people I ever did it with prior to COVID usually got their money back.
Yeah.
Because I'd employed them to do some basic work.
I'm not usually, I want to get an MCI, but not to work as an MCI.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, there's like a little hiccup there, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
People do these things for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah.
And again, probably, if you've got navigation, you need to know all about, the various things you can teach. So like strategies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. This is where it's going to be a pain, because I'm going to flick onto this one.
Yep.
Now, what do you think are the most important parts of the rock climbing out of all these bits here? I think you said it was route finding, wasn't it?
The rock climbing for me, it would be route finding and rope management. So 2, sorry.
And I would encourage you in your own time to maybe go through all of it.
Yeah.
And
but like for stuff that I don't use, like series and parallel,
rope management. So I would put, so for here it's like, where are you now? You understand series and parallel.
Yeah, but practice it more.
But what we do here is that this is how you're going to change your practices. Use series and parallel whilst teaching and practice switching from I say and back, but actually it's very rare that you go from series to parallel and back again.
Right, yeah.
Often we switch, if we're teaching people to lead like this, and I generally advise people that if you're not doing on your teaching day of an assessment, if you don't do 4 pictures of climbing, it's going to be very hard for them to assess you on the whole syllabus.
Right.
Because you need, so that could be 2 2-pitch routes or 1 4-pitch route.
Yeah.
Or it could be a 3-pitch route, and then you come down and you have to do like, at this particular crag, you can climb up to this point and abseil off.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Could you just write that in there? Just somewhere. Like probably 4 pictures. Yeah.
Just put here, where are you now? Just put maybe in this bit.
Yeah.
So often what can happen is it's like you're teaching, we need to be back at the bus at like 4:30.
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock, if I am not at the top of a crag, I will switch to parallel and bring people up, because actually, by the time, let's assume I've got 1 or more pitches left, I'm trying to get us back to the bus. Now, doesn't really matter with you.
because you're probably, this is when I'm working,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got, 3 or 4 instructors and a bus full of people.
Yeah, yeah,
I always explain to the people I'm mentoring when I've been working for places like the Brennan that, like, you can be last back to the bus and not late, or you can be late back to the bus and not last.
yeah, yeah.
So nobody's so this is, I'm going to put access, egress, and finding. Now, are you a PC or a Mac person?
I've got an Apple, whatever that is.
Look, got a Mac. Do you have a computer?
No, I've got an iPad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will send you this as
Just an email. Yeah.
No, this is a numbers document, and
right.
you'll be able to edit numbers on an iPad.
Okay. Yeah.
And what I would, there's another thing on my YouTube channel which is called Ghost Goal Setting.
Yeah.
And the ghost is like goal, objective, strategy,
Yeah.
tactic.
Yeah.
Now, what we're trying to do here is get into the objectives, the strategies, and the tactics. Now, you watch Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad?
Yeah. Both of them, yeah.
So, which one shall we use? Let's use either of them.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to be the top dog.
Yeah.
And how they go about that is they don't just go, I want to be the top dog. They're like, right, Daenerys, she's got to recruit an army.
Yeah.
She's got to get her dragons.
Yeah.
And then she's got to start taking people out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be top dog, she's had to, her objectives was, I'm going to get this army, I'm going to get that army.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my dragons, and then I'm going to use those things to attack this. And the idea is that you've got a goal, but it's the bits of like the strategies and the techniques and having an objective. So, you understand this, and actually what you want to be able to do is use parallel and series whilst teaching, and switch from series to parallel and back again. What's it add?
Oh, sorry, I can't concentrate. Can I just use your loo? I can go.
Yeah, of course you can. It's.
I can go to the van and.
No, upstairs. We'll have a pause. Do you want another brew?
Oh no, that's fine. I can go to the van.
No, it's literally the toilet's at the top of the stairs, kind of over this bit of the house.
Okay, great. Yeah. Right, sorry about that.
Hey, no worries. We've probably been we've been going for an hour and like a half, nearly 2 hours.
So what are we up to?
So like we've got here where you were understanding it.
Yeah.
How we want to change. We want to be able to use it effectively.
Yeah.
Some switches. So what you need to do is practice. So one of the things we're going to do is practice with series and parallel.
Is that the personal part there or the teaching there?
Or
Yeah, so we'll move. Let me just see if I can. You're right. Put that in there.
But on the first climbing day, it would still be a route finding.
So what do you think is your not problem? What do you think is holding you back with your?
It's just going off route. But I don't do it very often. It's just
Reading the rock there.
No, I don't often get lost.
Yeah, sometimes.
I just wouldn't want to get lost on assessment.
Yeah.
So one of the things with that Craigslist is it kind of gives the most of the routes that I've ever used at work.
Yeah.
And so there are things that you could do is we could sorry, I'm a really bad familiar. Yeah, so using that list to try and do at least one route.
I know. Yeah, on all of those crags, I've done at least one route, but I've planned to do more. Yeah.
And often I think it's about maintaining focus. So one thing you could do is try and think about how you would teach people to interpret a guidebook.
Yeah.
Because it is a really common thing that I see, especially people who are coming from me who have maybe climbed for themselves and they already climbing reasonably well, but they get to a hard move and they go left or right.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't look at the bigger picture. So you often have, like, you know, whether it be scrambling, rock climbing, you have the next three moves that you can easily see.
Yeah.
You have as far as you can see.
Yeah.
Which, you know, in climbing could be like 5-10 meters realistically. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the overall aim. So like the top of the crag, or does the route actually go up and right, or does it go up and left?
Yeah.
And you have to think to yourself, you know, it might be a hard move here, but if I, you know, the route doesn't say go left round on an arête.
Yeah.
If I go left round the arête, I can't see anything, and it's not where it says, but it looks like I've got to go up here.
Yeah.
And actually, the bigger picture is that actually that is the direction it's going.
Yeah.
You know, you do have to take into account that idiots like me write guidebooks, and we do get things wrong, like we put the direct start to a route in rather than because that happened to be what I did the day that I did it when I was checking the guidebook.
Yeah.
So the reason that is, it's probably wrong in the ground up guidebook, because I went out with Graham Desroy that day, and we we did all of the Munich, that route and another route on the east face of Tristan, testing them out for that guidebook years ago. And so when I went back in to do it for my guidebook, I was like, I just went up here last time.
No. For me, it's I think I don't know if you know the Lake District that well.
A little bit.
So on Kipling Groove, that happened there. It was into Kipling Groove, and it's called Kipling Groove, and yet we went out on the face.
Yeah.
It's just like, because we
Yeah.
just messed it up, and we ended up in an E2 in the rain, and it's just a nightmare, really. Yeah. So I just want to get better at.
And then things like this is like, so when you come into this bit, it's like we've put in these things, so we're going to use that list. We're going to try and do most popular classics, up to the VS.
Yeah.
Work on our own type interpretations and teaching it in terms of like, looking at the topos. Now, often when I teach this, if I'm stood there, where I'm going to rack up to do this, I'm not going to have this view of the crag.
No.
And so what I would do is, I would probably stop about here.
Yeah.
And then get this out and be like, oh look, I've got, this is the crag, and I can see where everything is now, and I can see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, it's actually, I think, especially even with scrambling as well, I think it's often people go from near to far when actually they need to go from far to near.
Yeah.
Because I think, in this book, there's a classic bit at the front where I explain, like when you look at this section here, this is easy going up here and this looks harder. But actually, when you look further back, this has got like this horrible vegetated, wet, steep bit. But if you go up here, it's just rock.
Yes, it's easier, yeah.
And so it's only, if you look at this bit, if you look at the narrow, if you look at like the minuscule detail, you'll see the easiest move, but it's not necessarily going to be the easiest move leading you to where you want to be.
Right, yeah.
And so sometimes, I think this is where people go wrong, is they sometimes do the easiest move where they are, rather than, but actually they need to do something a little bit harder.
Yeah.
To get them to where they want to go.
That makes sense. Perfect sense. Yeah.
What else of the personal client? Oh,
so I for that oh, you changed it. So for that, I wrote down 30 to 60 routes. So where it says at the end, practice. I thought do another 30 to 60 routes.
Yeah, I mean, I think with this, you should, if they're multi-pitch routes, if you've already got that 20,
I've got about 40. Well, I wanted 300.
Yeah. So 30 should be enough, because you're already, you're more than in the ballpark of where you need to be.
Yeah.
This is just fine tuning, and it's like, have you heard of the 10,000 hours, 10 years rules?
Yeah.
It's 10,000 hours or 10 years of deliberate practice.
Yeah.
So it's not just any old practice. And I can't remember what it is. It's in my book. It's like you look at task rather than outcome.
Yeah.
And you look for immediate feedback. So, can you try not to get lost?
Yeah.
By spending an extra 2 minutes reading the description for each pitch and looking at the topo,
No, that makes sense. I think
so. Like that might be. Let me.
Yeah, no, I like that. My mates are quite fast, and they're always like rushing about. Actually, I think it's because we come from London. But I'm just slowing down and just.
Yeah, it's. What's the it's about haste and not speed, isn't it?
Yeah. Hare and the tortoise, isn't it?
Yeah. And so, for me, like, we've got teaching guidebook interpretation, but like for me, this spend an extra 2 minutes looking at a guidebook might be this very specific thing that will make a difference, because actually it's forcing you to do something different and not the same thing. These things of like, we've got using this list, so we've got the crags, we've got
popular classics. We've got you using teaching guide trip interpretation, because then you can, if you're teaching that, you can see where people go wrong, and then you can maybe self-adjust. And again, asking yourself, you know, if you do find yourself in a situation where you've gone wrong, ask why that happened. How how it happened, what do you think you can do to prevent it, and these are kind of processes that help you reach this goal of reading the rock and route finding.
No, I like that. I like that.
Should we what you got anything else on the personal climbing? What about, let's go to the top one. I put them in the wrong order, obviously. Rope rescue.
Well, just for me, that's problem reduction and solving. But really, it's about reducing the problem, isn't it?
So you're happy with the hard skills?
Yeah, I even enjoyed them, to be honest with you. I quite enjoyed that part of it.
Skilled. So what we could do is focus on scenario based stuff. So for some people, what I would do is go, right, what we're going to do is I want you to show me this, show me that, show me this, and I get them to do the skill, and I tell them what to do, because they need to, they're not in the ballpark, it's stupid to give somebody a scenario that requires them to decide what they need to do if they haven't actually got that skill down. So because this, we could, like, I should try and come up with some rescue scenarios. Now, some of them, like if I find the time, and because I can put them online for other people as well. That's the joy of this, is like, it's not just for you. And some of them might just be, I might just say, it's a thought experiment. You've got to kind of think about in that situation what you would do and how you would do it. And even if it's like, you just put like the box, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and but it's about you problems. And this can come from you've obviously had some experience of like good things happening. You sounds like you've had some experience of not so good things happening, and so you might have some scenarios from your own experience, from your own friends' experience of that are really good to think through of what you would have done yourself. It definitely would add in here minor and major problems. Minor problems are pretty much anything that you might get on like your RCI. Because the RCI really doesn't have any rescue. It's like,
I never did the RCI.
It's
SPA.
SPA.
Right.
It didn't really have any real rescues. It's like,
did it change though?
No.
Okay.
No. It's like, I think the RCDI will have something, but the RCI is basically the hardest thing you need to be able to do is tie off a stick belay plate. The idea is even if you have to get to somebody, you're meant to be able to get a rope next to them. And it's not about these complicated like prosthetics and
counterweight.
So
you need to learn the difference between a major and a minor problem, and how not to turn a minor problem into a major problem.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, like the foot stuck. Yeah, you could hoist them up. So, but actually, you've turned a minor problem into a major problem.
Yeah.
You're not going to be failed.
No.
But you've basically shown something that's not required.
No, I get it.
You've picked the hammer up to put that screw in.
I've just gone to the top end.
Yeah. And it's, I think, like an anecdote I'll give you is years ago I did a 4-day British Association of Ski Patrollers first aid course with a load of people like myself. I was just a climber at the time. I wasn't an instructor, but there were other instructor type people there, like mountaineering instructors. Have you ever been to Glenmore Lodge?
Yeah.
The climbing wall is like that. You used to go down into it.
Yeah.
They set a scenario: somebody's broken their leg, you got to get them out.
Right.
So we set up like winches and everything. You like hoist them up and put them out. And
they wanted the stretcher.
and the guy said, "Why didn't you just like he had the fire brigade there, and the fire brigade just like 4 people went like this, and one person was on the side and dragged it, and they all just like pushed it, and it took them like 3 minutes to get this person extracted. It took us 2 hours.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like often if you know that you can do these things with all this rope stuff, you go to it where actually sometimes they were not looking to see that.
No, and that's a learning point, because on assessment you just think they want to see the hardest thing, don't you?
Yeah. Anything else on this one?
No, I just go through all of the sort of scenarios, sort of three times.
So I would and I think I've done a reasonable job of like putting a lot of the hard skills in here.
Yeah.
I was given rescuing a lead climber on my assessment.
Yeah.
Which isn't in there. So I've kind of put practice all major hard skills, but I'll also add in
how did you rescue a lead climber? You just lower him down to you, didn't you? Or is the rope not long enough?
He was like, I was stuck on a ledge, so you have to tie him off.
Yeah.
Make an upward facing anchor.
Yeah.
So I can then I have to prusik up his rope and then do a snatch rescue.
So that's like a traverse rescue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then bring him down to there and then bring him down again. So I have to bring see, and so like another thing to have a practice of once is if you go into it doesn't matter whether it's easier to do the snatch rescue, counterbalance rescue first.
Yeah.
Bring them down to a belay and then bring them down again. So you've done a multi-pitch retreat with somebody.
Yeah.
Now, when I did this, I went on to bus stop.
Yeah.
So I led up Nat Attack.
Right.
Got my friend to kind of top rope, and I then jumed up the rope to him so he's on the actual belay.
Yeah.
And I rescued him onto the first bolt because it's like a really good bolt. I was so we're both hanging off that bolt, but you have to like tie them in with an Italian hitch on a sling, so you can then get them. You can unweight, unweight them.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing worth.
Right. If you're doing that on bolts, I could practice that at the climb wall, couldn't I?
Yeah, and it's like, and these are things like, even if you could set up. I mean, you've got the perfect opportunity to offer people rescue.
Yeah.
Like, have you got like a little abseil platform?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
And or even just like 2 bolts near the ground and do it horizontally.
Yeah. No, we've got all that. We've got
and
we've got an MCI who runs a rescue course, so I could just do it free, couldn't I?
Yeah. Oh, well, what I'm talking about more is like teach rescues.
Yeah.
Now, if you do it
That's what I mean,
yourself,
teach the instructors. Yeah.
well, you could teach anybody who wants to be a trad climber. They like,
Yeah.
I think people need now. When I teach my rescue skills,
Yeah.
I often teach them the most fundamental thing: tying off a belay,
Yeah.
pressing up and down a rope so they understand that,
Yeah.
and then maybe a haul.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to know how they're going to rescue a lead climber that's fallen,
Yeah.
and I always think there is a ethical and moral limit to what I can teach people within a 2-day period.
Yeah.
Like, I would prefer to teach them how to haul somebody up
Yeah.
and have them so confident that they can do that, and maybe like abseil past the knot or something very simple, than basically throw Libby Peters' full rescue techniques book at them, or certainly the sort of things that they're literally, when it comes to like, if you're starting to teach them like counterbalanced stuff, that if they confuse a counterbalance with a snatch, and they untie the wrong knot, it's fucking all off together. And so again, it just becomes, I think it's helpful if you can teach it.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Because you're having to think through it for other people.
Yeah.
Which means that you get to see how other people fuck it up, and then you won't fuck it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some practical things I think you've probably teaching climbing.
I just thought for me, I thought it would be about 9 more days, but it might be more if I'm doing all the 4 pictures and all that.
Bear in mind that some of these
Will be
can be some of these.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true actually. Yeah.
So you said, like, shall we say? I've just put 10 routes, but again, it's just.
Sorry, you'll notice everything I do is in 3s. It's fine, yeah, that's fine, yeah, 10, yeah.
You notice everything I do has to be divisible by 5 or 10.
Okay, fair.
Just because it's like, these are ballparks, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
And we've got all these things that we've put in that we want to try and include. So we'll include all this stuff here is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's going to give you a lot of things. I'm trying to think of anything else you really want to focus on. Now, and put that in. Think about assessing them in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's of chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of, like that, basically that thing. Because actually, I found it really hard because even though I was working for the Brennan and I had lots of experience of teaching people, the way that our courses work was we'd meet them in the morning on the first day of the course.
Yeah.
We'd sit them around a table and we'd have like it'd probably be half an hour because we chat to the whole group.
Yeah.
And then we'd get the kit and then we'd go out and then we'd all be at a crag doing like a single pitch day, top roping, getting them in the basic stuff. And then the next day we'd split into groups of 1 to 4 and we'd do belays at the top of the crag. And so it was a very progressive thing and it wasn't this, you've got 15 minutes now to work on this. So, just when you're teaching people,
precise,
even if it is forcing yourself just to not ask them any questions until you meet them. Anything else? Like, let me just go back here. I don't think.
Oh, you mean people I know as well? Yeah.
And that, when you're working with people it's really hard to assess them.
Yeah, because
you know them.
They're all instructors from the climb wall, aren't they? I do know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was another. Oh yeah, we've got all of this stuff here, which is the practicing and teaching 4 pitches.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yep.
Scrambling day. What did we put in scrambling day? It was route finding.
For me, I put it efficient and safe. So the question at the top is what does the skill mean to you? So I put to be efficient and safe. And I think for me, my efficiency could improve.
Yeah. So what specifically do you think you're inefficient with?
All of it.
Okay. Let's.
Okay.
What do you mean by all of it?
Well, obviously I can do everything like short roping, lead a pitch, bring up the first one, Italian hitch, bring up the second. I can do all that, but I could be more efficient in all of it. If you see what I mean.
It's a very. I put it here, but I think it's a very ambiguous. It's like, do you want to be more efficient at the start of a route? So one of the things is like, even with, and it comes down to the teaching day as well.
Yeah.
One of the guys I once mentored, we went out on a day teaching. So he found 2 clients and I just came along to observe him.
Yeah.
He was my girlfriend's at the time's like best friend's husband.
Yeah.
So I went out and he just about got, I think he got 3 pitches in.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons he got 3 pitches in is like we didn't leave the ground having reached the base of the crag for over an hour.
Right.
And I was like, he was, the way I described it was he was just like, here's Libby Peters' book.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's great. Libby Peters' book, but you didn't actually, what did this guy need to do? He needed to follow you up a route so you could see some skills, so people could actually climb and teach him something. But actually, and so sometimes it's being efficient at the bottom of the route. Sometimes it's,
But maybe he's trying to impart his knowledge to impress you.
Yeah, but this is what I said is like, that's all well and good, but well, his thing was that's what he thought it was about. He's like, I'm going to try and show you my knowledge. And I'm like, no, it's about you choosing which bits of knowledge are appropriate for that person at that time.
Yeah.
So it could be more efficient route finding. So you get to I'm not saying run quickly up routes because I'm pretty sure that's how my friend ended up with a brain injury. So he was teaching somebody and I know exactly, and this is what I said earlier, is I could literally run up routes and I could, I think I could get up like the height of traumatic in probably 3 minutes.
Yeah.
On a route up to like VDiff.
Yeah.
With, I might play skier, I might solo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he slipped off on the approach to a route on the Cromlech.
Right.
And, was in hospital in a coma for 3 months. And so I don't encourage that now. I'm like, you climb at your own pace. Doesn't matter. Yeah. It's like, no matter who you are with this, if you climb at your own pace, as long as you're like, if you work on those first time placements.
Yeah.
And how do you do that?
Practicing it more and more. Surely.
It's a little bit of practice, but it's a little bit about the tactic. You heard the old carpenter's expression, measure twice, cut once.
Yeah.
Now, I often get people to, you're going to play, this is a crack here. Mm-hmm. They see a crack and they go like this. It's like, no. You see the crack. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to place something there.
Yeah.
What size is it? Now, I arrange my wires small, medium, large.
Right.
And I'll be like, oh, that's a medium. So I'll get my medium off. And before I've taken my medium off, I've just spent an extra
5 to 10 seconds, maybe even not that. It can be, if it's this long a crack, it's giving it a second glance to where it tapers. Oh, look, just there, I can place it there. Yeah. And so before I take my wires off, I've got a pretty good idea of what I'm placing and where I'm placing it. Yeah. If it's parallel, I'm not picking a wire. I'm going to pick a cam. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just put.
I'm happy that I'm also a bit more of a cam man, really, because I learned to climb on the peak districts.
Yeah, yeah. So. And I don't think whether you're a nut person or a cam person, it matters as long as you're placing them in appropriate places. Yeah. What else we can be more efficient at is so for me, it's like you could be more efficient at building a belay, but it's more, again, I think, having some. It's not guideline. It's like a rule of thumb of like. I would default to direct belays if I can, scrambling, because they're quick and efficient. Yeah. But if I get up and I can't see that, I'm instantly looking for 2 places to put a wire. Yeah. Equalize with a sling, and either bring them up indirect or direct, depending on what the 2 pieces are. Yeah. Worst case scenario is there's only 1 piece and I've got to sit down. Yeah. Or I'm brace stance and I'm sat down. Yeah. And so what some people get into, they get to a belay and they start second guessing what they should be doing, what the assessor wants to see. Mm-hmm. The assessor wants to see your decision making. Yeah. And so just do what you'd normally do, because that's what they want to see, is your decision making. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does.
So belay construction, choice, and decisions of what to do. Again, this is just like you've put, we want to be more efficient. So I'm just trying to think of ways that you can actually be more efficient.
For me, that's what you've just said there is safety. Making sure that the sort of client is safe. Yeah. I mean, so yes, picking the right belay, doing it. And you're right, it's efficiency as well, doing it quickly, but appropriate. Yeah.
So again, this is the appropriate rope system. So again, if we are moving together, now if I've been short rope and I've got like 20 to 30 meters of rope out, 20, maybe 25. I don't think I've ever really done 30 meters, but sometimes I might. And I look and I've got a little bit of moving together, because it's like I've got to take the rope to the walk, take the rope for a walk, and I can see there's another bit of actual rock climbing over there. Yeah. I wouldn't even bother taking coils, shortening the rope. I just coil it in my hand. Yeah. And we're taking the rope for a walk, and then I can. Yeah. Getting used to. Yeah, just things of like, if you've done that and there's one step. Yeah. Just get used to going, stay there. So, I think I become a lot more Genghis Khan, right, rather than Gandhi. I always describe, we can discuss it or I can tell you. So when I'm in scrambling terrain, I'll be like, stop there, don't move until I tell you to, and then I might go up a little grade 1 scramble and then get into a position. Okay, up you come. Yeah. And so like, rather than moving together, it's more of a concertina thing. So again, it's appropriate rope systems or stroke management for the terrain. Yeah. And often that will be, if the path's really narrow and it's death, then maybe I'll be thinking about a hasty belay, because despite the fact that it's walking, it is a very, very serious thing. If it looks like if I keep them on a tight rope, I can stop a slip becoming a fall before they go into that, then we'd be moving together, and then anything else is like short pitching or
And so for me, these are the ways you become more efficient. It's not necessarily about the movement, it's about the decision making.
Yeah.
And it'll often take a while for you to develop that. So what did you say there for 30 days out?
30 days, I guessed.
I think you might find, I would say, in fact, I wouldn't. You know, a day out, you should have like, if you're doing like a grade 2 scramble, grade 3 scramble, you should encounter a lot of terrain.
Yeah.
And I think 20 days would give you more than enough for that.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. I think you're not starting from nowhere.
Yeah.
I've not seen you, but I'm sure you'll more than likely be in the ballpark of where you need to be. It's just going to be a little thing. And what I will add here, it's not just 20 days. I would make plus, but I'm going to add, but don't forget grade 1 terrain. Because, you know, so if you're going up grade 2, 3, think about coming down grade 1.
Yeah.
And, you know, things you could do here when at your personal climbing days is to each route.
Yeah.
You know, what could you teach? How easy is it to manage clients getting there?
Yeah.
You know, basically, you can go out and have a good day climbing and still think about how you would manage a beginner, an intermediate.
Yeah.
You know, what could you teach somebody that's very experienced? What could you teach somebody that isn't experienced?
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. So less days, but more harder, slightly harder grades. There's no point. Yeah.
No.
But coming down grade 1s. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you come down the grade 1, you can think to yourself, okay, I'm managing it this way in descent, but how could I manage it without a rope?
Yeah.
On ascent with a group.
Yeah.
You know, is this, you know, and it's just a way to get more out of just a day when you're getting a logbook tick of that box. It's like one of the things I really encourage people to do is that is when you go out and you're practicing and you're filling in your logbook.
Yeah.
Is, you know, the logbooks like usually really dull. You know, they were when I was doing it. Is like, I went out and I did this route in these conditions.
Yeah.
Just start adding in. I went out and did this route in these conditions. If you're teaching somebody, what you taught, how you taught it, what went right, and add a little bit about a reflection on what that route would be good for. You know, if you're out on a personal climbing day, you know, think about how you could use it and maybe put that in.
Will they read that?
It's not for them.
Okay.
It's for you to have gone.
To think.
They will read it.
Yeah.
And it will look. I think if you're reflecting about things that go right and things that go wrong, now it's really hard. I can remember when I'd been working at the Breaded for like a year, and we'd gone out, I'd done a 4-week improver course.
Yeah.
And on the last route of the last day, I'm looking down, and this guy
is just like, we're like, yeah, on belay, climb when ready. And I'm looking down and he untied from his end of the rope.
Oh.
I'd fixed the line and I was just like, pulled, and I just like ran down this rope and just clipped him in. And he was just like, I was just tired, and you know, and I like go back to the Brennan, and I sat in the staff room, and I just like, I'm a little bit like,
what's a near miss, isn't it?
Shock, and I'm like, right, so today, guys, you know, this has happened at the end of the course. I think the reason was the guy was tired, and maybe I shouldn't have done that route, but you know, we just wanted to get one more route in. It was an easy route. I think he was on second, so he'd relaxed, and this happened. And 3 members of staff went, yeah, I've had that happen to me before. Yeah, I did exactly the same as you.
Right.
Had to go down, clip them in, shouted at them.
Yeah.
They fortunately hadn't completely done it, and they were on a big ledge. And it's like, things don't always go to plan.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody who understands our industry will mark you down for pointing out an issue you've had in your consolidation period,
right?
Especially if you write down, they might even like go for, I saw this in your thing, you know, what did you do, how did you overcome it? And it's, you know, or you know, like, so for instance, that problem you sent me, if you had put, oh yeah, this is a problem I had, nothing happened, but it was potentially close to being a near miss. And actually what I did is found a mentor, I asked him, he gave me a long answer, and we've chatted about it. And so for me, it's that whole idea of like deliberate practice. It's not just practice, it's about deliberately going out and analysing what you're doing, why you're doing it.
Yeah, it's another step to write it down for your assessor to read it.
But honestly, they're going to be lost in the details. You're not saying fess up to everything. You know, if you're not happy with it, then don't put it in. Just put like,
I'm happy being transparent. I mean, no problem with that. You know,
But it is terrifying the first time you kind of, you know, the first time I stood up, I'd only been there for like a year, and I'm stood up and with like guides and really experienced people, and you're just like, and it's like, well, actually, no, this is what we need to do, and actually, that's how people stop accidents happening. In a climbing wall, you have a near miss book, and you know, you learn from all of the accidents rather than the one bad one.
No, I'll start doing that.
And the last one, navigation.
To me, that means becoming competent and efficient. I've just got to practice it again. I mean, obviously, I've been an ML. It's just practice. And on my training, I had that British mountain guide, the tall blonde one. Lovely bloke, absolutely lovely bloke.
Oh,
what's his name?
Matt.
That's it, Matt. Yeah.
Steigel.
Yeah. He's just fantastic. And he said to me, with the glasses, and it was raining that day, with the glasses, and he just said, you just got to get better organised, really.
Yeah.
You know, just maybe the magnifying glass is the way forward.
Training. Again, if you get the, you know, teaching people.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah. I mean, I have taught Duke of Edinburgh. It's not really quite the same, is it?
I mean, it's still teaching navigation, and you can teach people on DV to do micro navigation if you've got the right area of the Peak District where you've got the features. Often it's dictated into, again, what's appropriate for them. And you know, if you've just got paths where they're having to like measure distance and stuff, that still work.
I know, we're teaching gold. You know, I tend. I've got another 30 days out for that. Oh, sorry, we're still on.
Practice. I'm trying to think there was something else.
I said organising.
Yeah, that was it. Be organised for all weather. So that is, could be a magnifying glass. It could be using your glasses. I wear glasses, but fortunately, when I'm navigating, it means that I can't actually focus. I can see if it's a big enough feature on a map, I can see it. But it's in soft focus when I'm looking at it. But at least I can see the map, and it's just one of those things that you just have to get. And so, what did you say? 30 days? Really?
I quite enjoy climbing and walking and scrambling. So I just thought, go big. I don't want to like scrape through for something.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So let's put like 30 days. But again, if you've scrambled up something and the weather is really awful, think about navigating off and rather than just following the path, think to yourself, right, if I was on my ML assessment, where would an assessor get me to navigate to? And I'm going to do that on the way down. And sometimes, like if you're
saying combine the two to scramble up and navigate down, or
so all of these, and similarly, like if your personal climbing day was to go up Cloggy, and you've taken your bags with you, or you go up to like near the top of a mountain, you can still navigate
back,
and so again, these are the days that they use to assess the syllabus. But again, it's all about mixing and matching. Has this helped you get a better picture of?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I kind of think I don't quite fit what their expectation is of what an MCI should be. So I just want to get.
You're not the only person. So, like, I have worked with a lot of people who come from your kind of more climbing background. Who find the scrambling. Really hard. I've also worked with people who struggled to get the VS climbing, but like, all they wanted to do is mountaineer, so they're like super slick on the mountaineering, and so it's just a question of working those weaknesses, being giving yourself the opportunity to reflect on what's going on, and just like you say. I mean, what's that? You've got 3 days was. Oh no, it's like, so that might be like 10 days, I would say, maybe. Because you can go through multiple. There could just be a bunch of half days or even evenings. So you've got. I would say that's 30. So 50, 60. Again. Yeah, so it's like 70 days, which is a lot, but if you're combining them,
no, that's 3 months, isn't it?
Yeah,
or 2 months.
And but for somebody that lives in London,
like I say, I was planning to come up here next year.
Okay, there you go, even better.
Just come up here and just do it, live and breathe it, and maybe get a little. If I can get a little bit of ML work, pick up a bit of ML teaching.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I just hopefully that's. Let's go in here. We can.